When a movie gets delayed sometimes, it works. And in this case, should have just been canceled forever. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today I'm talking all about The Hunt, a movie that was delayed for a little while because of the political climate. I'm guessing the studio thought it would be a good idea to still release this movie because it is absolutely awful. But before I dive into that, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now, if you're wondering who that is, that's me. And I love talking all about movies, so each and every day I'm dropping a new video for you guys, so don't miss out. Go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap on the bell right next to it, just to stay up to date with anything new that I drop. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and in the comments below, let me know what you think of The Hunt. Do you think releasing this movie is a good idea? And if you've seen it already, what do you think of the film? If you've been out of the loop recently, the coronavirus has unfortunately delayed a lot of films and canceled a ton of festivals and events. I break down a lot of the bigger headlines for you in a video that I just dropped yesterday. You can find the link below. I've also seen a lot of movies this week, one of which got delayed for a little while. Actually, we don't even know when it's going to get released. But the other one I did talk about. You can find my review for Bloodshot also in the description below. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to stretch because I'm probably going to get mad talking about this movie. It ain't good, y'all. But hey, let's hop right into the positives. Okay, I can't think of any. Alright, let's just get right into the negatives. Now, before I get started, let's lay some framework for this movie. The Hunt is directed by Craig Zobel, who did some work on The Leftovers, and it's written by Nick Hughes, who wrote a couple episodes for Watchmen, and Damon Lindelof, who is reuniting with Craig Zobel here after they worked together on The Leftovers. And for all intents and purposes, I heard The Leftovers was a good show. But you don't have to sell me on anything Damon Lindelof writes. His name alone is enough for me to go and seek out the project, just to watch it, and I had some hope for this. The trailers looked engaging, it had a little bit of the Purge feel to it, and I figured, okay, this could be fun and maybe a good escape from this crazy political climate that we're living in. The only thing is, the movie's just a little too extreme. And at the risk of me sounding like an old man telling people to get off my lawn, that's not me at all. I can have a good time. You guys know this if you've been following me. But the movie just takes two sides of the political spectrum and they go way too far. The extreme liberals and the extreme conservatives. There are literally events in this movie that are made to just trigger both parties. And it doesn't work at all. The premise of The Hunt is a group of extreme liberals who do not like Republicans in any form or shape. So what they do is they pin them in the middle of nowhere where they call Manorgate, and they give them weapons, and it's basically a never-ending game of cat and mouse. The only thing is, the cat always wins, the cat being the liberals. And while I understand the concept and it sounds kind of neat on paper because it could be a good opportunity for satire and parody and all that. The thing is about satire and parody, you have to be funny and humorous, and the movie did not do anything to reel me in and keep me in. If anything, it did everything to push me back. So I guess that's where we'll go ahead and start. There are a lot of trigger words in here like snowflake, snowball, deplorables, crisis actors is a phrase that was used a lot in the first half of the movie, but none of it really worked because it never flowed naturally. I can understand throwing it in there, sprinkling it in, but literally from the first scene of the film, we see our main character, one of our main characters, texting somebody and using the word deplorables. And you think, okay, I understand what they're going for, but hey, it didn't feel totally unnatural. And then in the following scenes, you start to hear a little bit more of that language, and there's nothing layered about this approach. It feels like the script was written out of anger and rage, and sometimes the best scripts are written like that. But you can't just write a script to piss off people without it having any sort of foundation. That's what this movie did. There are certain moments in here that are so ham-fisted and on the nose, it made me so detached from anything happening on screen. There's this guy that one of our characters picks up along the way. They go on a train, they see a group of immigrants, it's a family actually. They get off the train and this dude is yelling at these soldiers saying, I have a podcast, these are crisis actors, so and so and so. It's very much on the nose. Yeah, they're making fun of Alex Jones, they're making fun of a lot of these crazy right-wing media guys, and I understand what the writers are going for and the direction that the film is trying to take, but it just doesn't execute it well. If anything, the execution is just as good as Trump's coronavirus pandemic response, and we know how well that's working. Hint, it's not working well at all. And the acting here is awful. Awful, awful, awful. It's such a mess. Betty Gilpin plays our lead woman, and she's actually not the worst part about this movie, and I'm guessing she's the film's protagonist, even though she does a lot of things that are really bad. But I get it, she's surviving after these people pinned her in the middle of nowhere, but she plays Crystal, who's really trying to get back at the people who put her on this hunt. And then we have Hilary Swank, who plays Athena, who's literally like the opposite of Betty Gilpin's character. She is terrible. Like, this is a terrible concept that she developed out of literally, well, I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't go there. But she developed this concept out of anger and hatred. None of our actors have a lot of depth to them. It just seems like they're going through the motions, and the movie relies on a really crazy kill scene. The thing is, we've seen movies have that shock value. I mean, look at Saw, for example. The first Saw movie had a ton of crazy kill moments, but the thing is, it had the story that was enticing enough to back it up. In The Hunt, it's just dumb and predictable. And I'm really not going to talk about the rest of the cast because it's exhausting. They're just crazy stereotypes that are unreal, to the point where I just felt tired. I was watching the movie and I felt mentally exhausted trying to comprehend how anyone thought this was a good idea. Everyone is walking through their lines and doing their best to overact, that it makes this parody or this satire or whatever you want to call it unsuccessful. And then I have to come back to Damon Lindelof. How in the world is this a movie written by him? I mean, I don't know much about Nick Hughes. I mean, he wrote a couple episodes in Watchmen, and for all intents and purposes, I like that series. But Damon Lindelof, this is a career low for him. I mean, he's given us so much good quality content that's well thought out and executed, and in here, this is everything but. I genuinely don't know how this movie got greenlit based on the script alone. I understand it wanted to be radical, and Blumhouse is behind this, and they've put out some really good movies, but when Blumhouse is low, oh boy, they are low, and this is one of the lowest points I've seen for Blumhouse. And I won't lie to you guys, The Hunt is probably the worst movie I've seen so far in 2020. And especially with this entire climate right now, with the coronavirus delaying a ton of things, this is most likely going to be one of the last movies I see in theaters as press for a little while, because press screenings have been canceled. So this left a bad taste in my mouth as I walked out of the theater. There were 2 other people in the screening actually, and they somehow found enjoyment in it, but even they realized that this was way too overdone. And at some points, I mean, you're eliciting a reaction because you just can't believe what you're watching on screen, and that's in the worst way possible. And listen, I can take a joke. I understand that we live in times where, okay, providing something like this sort of satire can be good, but you have to be better than The Hunt. The Hunt is just an over-exaggerated pile of trash. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know, but I was so upset with this film because it didn't do anything to spark any sort of humor in me, and it didn't do anything to make me want to talk about this film even more so after this review. Because somebody asked me about it the other day, and I had to just shake my head and say, dude, I have too many negatives to list off for us to have a 5-minute conversation. Rest assured, you can skip The Hunt. If it is playing in theaters near you, please don't go and watch this film. It is not very good. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about The Hunt. If you see it, let me know. If you don't, trust me, you're not missing much. But yeah, I'm so disappointed. Alrighty guys, so that's my review of The Hunt. I really don't want to keep talking about The Hunt, but what I do want to keep talking about is this channel. So listen guys, this virus is delaying a ton of things. Press screenings are starting to get canceled, so what I'm going to try to do is, in the meantime, before they go ahead and reschedule things, I want to bring you guys videos of what you can watch while you're at home. Now, those videos are coming, I promise. I'm working on that list as we speak, but I guess I can just continue to film things out in advance, schedule them when they get a little bit closer to the release date, whenever they announce them, and I'll hopefully be getting some screener links as well. So you guys, the conversation doesn't stop. I'm gonna keep producing content for you guys, and honestly, let me know if you're okay. If you're a regular here at Real James, in the comments below, let me know that you guys are safe. And even if you're not, let me know that you're safe, because I care about you guys, and I'm thankful for you guys. And oh my gosh, we're almost at 900 subscribers. That's a blessing. Again, if you haven't already, like this video, share with your friends, and if you want to continue to follow up with some real-time updates for the channel, go to the Real James social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's a fun time. Alrighty, you guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.